shit right here. This shit is crazy.
The evil genius.
Hey, in your 30s, what does that mean to you when you meet people, when people come up to you and are like, man, you're the reason I love Pitt basketball? That's got to have a serious, make a serious impression on you, right?
Yes, it does, man. You know, it sometimes brings me to tears, you know, like when nobody's looking, you know, sometimes because they don't know, a lot of people don't know what you've been through, like in your journey, you know, things that every different thing that you've been through. I'm talking about from in your household. I'm talking about to get to practices, to school. I'm talking about just to make it home day to day, or just to smile sometimes, you know, and growing up in the Bronx, New York at the time I grew up in. And in those generations in the 90s and in the late 80s and the 90s, you know, everything was physical and very violent. So making it through that and getting the chance to see my goals, you know, see everything I said through, it felt great because my peers at home, my other people that I met in different cities and states playing AAU or just in different encounters at prep school or anything else, these people actually seen how determined I was not to let anybody or anything throw me off track. And I take that to heart because that's what gains fans. People that see and appreciate your talent, people that see and appreciate your hunger and dedication. They see that you're different. You're willing to go the extra mile to stay out of trouble or to get to this workout or to get to this practice or to learn from this person or to call this person. It's that serious. To be great.
A lot more goes into it than just the dribbling and X's and O's, right?
Right. And to hear these people shout out from the streets, hey, Krauser, and throw up the X, hey, Kraus. They keep calling me Kraus in Pittsburgh. Hey, Kraus. I'll be like, oh, it's all love, baby. You know, even the ladies, the older ladies, they stop. And she said, you know, certain ladies, you better keep throwing up that X, baby. You better keep going. And, you know, I'm just saying, it's real love when I'm out here teaching these kids because you know how many fights I've stopped when they're coming off these school buses or different things, different stuff people don't even know that I do. You know how many people I stopped from ODing in cars or hitting people. I save police officers out here and different things, but these are things that I want people to know that's installed in me. So when I see other people going through anything, I'm going to show that love because we're all together. It doesn't matter what city or state I came from. I look at everybody as people, so I want to take care of my people.
Man, the last couple of times I was able to see you I was in Pittsburgh a couple of years ago. You know, during the tough year when Kevin Stallings was around, and you know you were kind of hanging back watching the games, and you weren't kidding. I would see you walk along the baseline, and even people in the crowd behind me would start throwing up the X. You knew who was coming around right when that X was being thrown up, man. And that's something that you obviously took from you, from the Bronx, I should say, growing up in New York. You were very prideful in that. So still take a lot of pride in that, of course. Was winning the Big East tournament in New York the best feeling you ever had as a Pitt Panther?
You know what? That was actually a great feeling, but it wasn't the best one. It wasn't.
Okay.
You know, and you know, it was funny because I'm like a guy that's goal oriented. I'm goal driven. Like, you know, I watch Michael Jordan and Kobe and those guys. So I tried to emulate certain things with winning and not giving up and competing as hard as I could, you know, and it's amazing to know, like, I used to take my practice films home. I used to take my game films home. I used to take all of that home right after the games and watch them right after. Like, I was that determined. So I was that serious with it. So to see this, it's like a super blessing. You know what I mean? It's like a great feeling. I thank God every day that I had certain people out there, like the people, the Yinzers, the younger guys, the younger people, the younger generation still come up to me. They're 19 years old, 20-something years old. They're coming up to me throwing up the X. And I'm like, wow, what would he know about the X? But he said, hey, my dad took me to this game. My father, my grandfather. And you know what? That means a lot to me because they're connected. They were invested. And they believe, just like we put on that T-shirt, we believe. Because we were all we got, just like we said again. And that's all we had. And we fought for that since we had Aeropostale.